Hi, everyone. Thank you for coming and joining our teachers meeting. I'm just going to do a quick run through of Atalmido, which is our base for accessing all the resources and the textbooks for our new Sunday school curriculum. So the website to access Talmido is talmido.org. And once you access it, this is the main page that you're going to come to. On the main page, you're just going to get a brief rundown of what Talmido is, how you can use it. Throughout our curriculum, we use things like learning outcomes, scope and sequence. We have multiple different resources for the lessons as well as topic resources. So in this chart here, you're going to get a brief synopsis of what all of those entail. Additionally, you're going to see that below we have a section for parents as well and how you can support your child's Sunday school education. Now for teachers, we're primarily going to be looking throughout all of the different subsections that are here on the left side. But primarily when you want to look at your textbooks, you're going to have three options. The first option is your download textbooks. The second is our lessons by grade. And our third is lessons by topic. Now for the download textbooks, if I go ahead and click this, if you would like to download all of the lessons for a particular grade that are currently available, you can go ahead and click download textbooks and click on the grade that you'd like to download. And all the lessons that are currently available for that grade will show up and you can go ahead and download the textbook. Our second option is accessing our lessons by grade. So if I go ahead and click this, you're going to see a main menu here. Let's say I am teaching grade 7. I'm going to click grade 7. It's going to direct me here. I can see that right now I have lessons 1 to 4 available. And in the other sections, I can see when my next 16 lessons are going to be available from here on in. So I'm just going to go through our Bloom's level lessons and show you a quick sample of each. So just our pre-K and our kindergarten lessons are structured the same. So you're going to have three resources. Our first one is our textbook. Then we have a coloring book that's for the children. And then we have the textbook that is read as an audiobook that's available as well. And then we have a section that is available here for the teachers. And again, all throughout all the lessons, you're going to see that if you have additional resources that you find are great supplemental materials for your lessons, please go ahead and email resources@thalmido.org so we can go ahead and add that in. So as I had mentioned before, our pre-K and our kindergarten are formatted the same way. Our next Bloom's level is our grade 1 to grade 4, and these lessons are also formatted in the same manner. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to pick a grade 3 lesson. So let's pick lesson 2. Here on our page for lesson 2, you're going to see what learning outcomes are going to be covered in this lesson. So you can see specifically that the child in this lesson is going to be able to define sin. And also the second learning outcome is illustrate why sin causes us to be in disunion with God and our neighbor. The PDF to that specific lesson 2 is here, as well as additional resources that can be used to supplement the lesson. If I go ahead and click the lesson, we can see for grades 1 to 4, all of the lessons start off with a brief summary. You're also going to notice that the lessons in grade 1 to 4 all have vocabulary words pertaining to the lesson. Also, you're going to see pop-outs here as well. You're actually going to see that from lessons from grades 1 to 12. Sometimes the pop-outs might be Bible verses. Sometimes they might be statements that are pertinent to remember. Sometimes they may say think and have a question that can be used for discussion. So those pop-outs are meant to have important information stand out. So as you can see, we have different subsections, icons that have been incorporated as well. And then all of our lessons end off with reflection questions. So as I had mentioned, our grades 1 to 4 is our introductory Bloom's lessons, and those are all structured the same way. Our next one is our developing section for Bloom's taxonomy, and those incorporate grades 5 to 8. So I'm going to go ahead and click grade 7, lesson 3. Again, we can see the title of the lesson. We're going to see the learning outcomes that are covered. So in this lesson, we're going to see that there's learning outcomes from 2 topics that are covered. So we're going to see that there's learning outcomes from mental health, as well as diversity and inclusion that are covered in this specific lesson. So if I go ahead and click the lesson, you're going to see that the format for grades 5 to 12 are a little different from the lessons for grade 1 to 4. And the primary difference is you're going to see that in grades 1 to 4, the lesson started off with a lesson summary. So what the child is going to take away and what they're going to learn from the lesson, as well as an incorporated vocabulary words. And you're going to see in lessons 5 to 12 that the structure is a little bit different. So in these lessons, we actually start off with lesson goals. It's quite similar to high school classes and college or university classes where a syllabus is given to children, and the syllabus outlines what are the expectations a child needs to have, or what are the knowledge, what kind of knowledge do they need to come out with after finishing that course. So similarly, these lesson goals are what knowledge should the child hold after this lesson has been taught by the teacher. So you can see that all of our lessons start off with those goals, and similar to our grades 1 to 4, we have our subheadings, various images, we have our pop-outs, and just like before, every single lesson ends off with reflection questions. Now, our last Bloom's taxonomy level is mastery, and that's our grades 9 to 12. So I'm going to go ahead. Let's just arbitrarily pick grade 11, lesson 2. And again, you're going to see similar format. Each lesson has a Thalmido page of its own, again, that tells us what learning outcomes are going to be covered in that lesson. We're going to have the lesson PDF available as well as any other connecting resources. So if I go ahead and click that textbook lesson link, we're going to see again, we have our lesson goals similar to our grades 5 to 8 or developing section. You're going to see throughout the lessons, we try our best to incorporate different prayers and hymns that relate to the lesson as well. We have our Canva pop-ups, as well as our reflection questions that end off. Now, if you would like to know what topics are covered in which grades, you would go ahead and click our lessons by topic, and you can see the progression of a topic throughout our Bloom's levels. So for example, if I take a look at sacramental life in Christ, which is an overarching topic, and I specifically want to know when is the topic of Holy Chrismation covered throughout our Sunday school academic career of a child, we can see that it's covered in grade 2, grade 6, and grade 11. And as we have our 16 lessons completed, you're going to see which lessons specifically touch on that topic as well. On the left as well, again, any information pertaining to the ideology and the methodology of our curriculum is on the left. Any resources for educators, again, are available here, as well as resources for parents, and any other additional resources are available here. If you have anything that you would like to submit or you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact us, and we will get back to you as soon as possible.